Hello all, welcome to my channel on Android. Today I want to demonstrate you the concept of how to read call log using Kotlin in Android. I want to just give the name of my program application, that is call log content provider. I want to read the call log from any device. Basically, in call log, what is our requirement is that we need who has called, which number has called, it was incoming, outgoing, blocking number, missed call, voicemail, rejected, what kind of type of call it is, for how much duration the call is, and where was last call was made. So in on what time, right? So these are the basic requirement of reading the call log. Android provides inbuilt call log content provider, but whenever you want to read a call log from any device, you need a permission from the user. So I will just start with checking for the permission. So I am writing just code, that is if activity compact dot, I will check for the self permission. Basically there are two parameters for this. One is in current activity manifest. Whenever you are writing manifest, always select Android, right? Manifest dot permission dot read call log is the permission that is required from our side, right? If this permission is not granted by the user, so I will just check not equal to package manager dot permission granted. It means if the permission is not still granted by the user, I will request for the permission. So I will, what I will do, I will activity compact dot request permission. In request permission, basically three arguments are required. The first is in which context you need. The second one is list of the permission. It is an array. Right now my size is 1, so I will just pass array with the size 1. In this size I will pass the list of the permission. Right now I need only one permission, and that is read call log. The third argument is the most important argument. What if the permission is granted by the user? So suppose if the permission is granted by the user, I am just passing the request code. Here you can pass any number. For example, I can pass here 101 also. My step is what, whenever the user request code is 101, then what I want to do, right? So on permission, on request permission result, this is the function in which you can check if request code is equal to 101. It means if the request is granted by the user and grant results of the 0, it means if it is I'm just checking is package manager dot permission is granted. If yes it is granted, then I will display the log. Obviously I need to create a one function for this, so I will create the function display log, right? One more thing is required from my side is what, if permission is not granted, then what I am doing, I am requesting for the permission. But if the permission is granted, then again call the display log. Not only this, in manifest file we need a one permission, and that permission name is uses permission read call log, right? Once this is fine with from your side, you can just check for the permission this code is working properly or not. What I am doing, see, I'm just checking for the permission. If the permission is not granted, then I am asking for the permission. See, it is asking me for the permission, I'm denying. Let me execute it again. Until and unless I press allow, it will not move ahead until and unless I press allow. Suppose if I click on allow, then what it will do, it will call the function that is on request permission result, and I pass the code that is 101. If the code is 101 and the permission is granted, then I will call the display log function. Now it's a time to do some code on display log. So whenever you are coding for call log, what we need, so there is a one uh, inbuilt content provider for providing all this. So I'm just creating a variable with list of. In list it is a obviously string list, and I'm just adding the parameter that I need to bind in my simple cursor adapter. So I'm just calling call log dot calls dot underscore id is the most important parameter whenever you want to bind it your any data to the simple cursor adapter. So I'm just writing call log dot calls dot id, call log dot calls dot I need a number who has called, call log dot calls dot type. What kind of type is it can be incoming, outgoing, voicemail. So I'm just calling a number, id, number, type. One more thing is required, and that is call log dot calls dot, and that is the duration for how much time the call was running on. For it can be incoming, it can be outgoing. I'm just declaring this my variable as columns. It means I need this columns from the users. Once you define your columns variable, now you can write a code in your display log function. What I am doing in display log function, in display log function I will first write down that variable result set is equal to content resolver dot query. In query you need so many arguments, but I will use this 5 arguments. The first argument is URI. It means from which URI you want to access your data. Projection means what are the columns that you want. Selection means do you want to filter any record in the call log. Suppose if you want to make a watch on particular number, then you can write the condition here in selection and you can pass the value of that particular number. But I want the call log of every people, so I will not use this 2 arguments. And last one, you want to display the data in which order by name or order by last modified. Last modified call should be come first, then you can write it in a sorting order. So I'm just providing call log dot calls dot content URI. This is the URI. Once you pass this URI, the second argument is columns that we already declared as an instance variable. I don't want to filter any number, so I'm passing this 2 argument as a null. And the last argument, that is, do you want data in any sorting order? Yes, I want that data should be in a descending order of time, right? So I'm just in a curly bracket I'm using dollar call log dot calls dot last modified is there, but it is not enough. Why? Because we need to write it here descending. Why? Because we want that it should be in a descending order, right? So I'm just writing here code for variable rs is equal to content resolver dot query, right? Whenever you are writing this kind of code, we need one missing permission annotation. Why? Because it is checking for the permission is added or not. I already added the permission, so I am just writing here missing permission. Variable calls is already declared, so here you can check this call logs calls. This should be to typed array. Why? Because I need an array of string over here, right? So once you initialize your rs, we need to bind it with the simple cursor adapter. But whenever you are binding to simple cursor adapter, what we need, I am just taking variable from what are the things that you want from the user. So variable from, this is the string, obviously dot to typed array, and I will pass what are the columns that I want from the user. So I want first call log dot calls dot number. Not only number, I want that call log dot calls dot duration, for how much duration that number has called. And I want the type, it was incoming, outgoing, what kind of call it was. So call log dot calls dot you can just take the type. These are the three things that I want in my output. Whenever you are writing the query like this, you can just check that is my data is loaded or not. So you can write the if rs dot move to next. If it is yes, then you can display the record. Not only this, I want to I have to display this as per the resource. Now I need to take my own layout. So what I will do, in resource, in layout, you can just right click, new layout resource file. I am taking my layout, that my layout name is my layout. In this my layout, I want to define my own layout with the card view. So what I will do, first of all, I will search here card view and I will download it, and it will add to my Gradle. Once it sync with, once it configures successfully, you can move to your design palette. In design palette, you can write here, instead of constraint layout, just take androidx.cardview.widget.cardview. Whenever you are taking a card view, you need to define some properties. So I am here defining the properties, that is card use compact padding. It means I want the compact padding true. Display should be like compact. Corner radius, do you want your every card corner radius? If you want the radius, then you can pass here the value. I'm just passing the 20 density in pixel. Then you can set the content padding. Do you want your content should be paired? If yes, then you can define the how much dp you want to set for the any content padding. Then you can set the card background color. Right now I am just passing the background color is 0f0, it means it is green. Here from color you can select the color that you want, right? So I'm just taking the light color. You can check your card view is prepared or not, but how you can check this? So not only card view, inside the card view I want a linear layout. So in linear layout, I will just put here linear vertical. In linear vertical, I will pass the text view. In this first text view, I want to display the number of the user who has called. After this, I want here one value, that is for how much duration it was called, and here I want for how much and it was incoming or it was outgoing. I want to check here, right? So I'm taking one more linear layout inside this, and it is now horizontal. Inside horizontal, I'm taking two text view. Why? Inside horizontal I am taking two text view. Why? Because this my first text view is number, this text view is for how much time, and this text view is for it was incoming or not. Now my card view height I'm setting as a wrap content. Whenever you set your card view height is wrap content, your card will be look like this. These are my text view. Let me give the rename my text view. This is my text view 1, this is my text view 2, and this is my text view number 3. So there are basically three text view are there. In text view 1, I want to set the text size, for example 20 dp, and text style, that is bold. So it looks simple. I want to display simple, I want to highlight that particular number. Text size 18 dp, and I don't want to set any bold. Here also I am writing text size, that is 18 dp, right? Once you set all this, now these are my three text view. Now I want to bind it to my this three values: number, duration, and type. So these are my columns that I want to display in text view 1, text view 2, and text view 3. So I'm just creating one variable 2 is equal to int array of, and I need to provide here r dot id dot text view 1. So my number will be displayed in text view 1. Then you can take one more, that is r dot id dot text view 2. r.id.text to 3. Once you pass from and to, rs is ready. Now you can define your own adapter. So I'm just writing here variable adapter is equal to, you can take an instance of simple cursor adapter. Simple cursor adapter having the 6 argument where you want to display this. The first argument, that is your context, so I'm passing application context. The second one is your layout, so I'm passing here r dot, I'm just passing here r dot layout dot my layout. The third argument is which data source you want, right? So I'm just writing here I want a result set. The fourth argument is what are the columns that you want to display, and the fifth argument is in each column what you want to display, and the sixth argument is do you want to set any flag? No, I don't want to set any flag. Now I want to display all these things inside the list view. So in my activity main, I will add the list view. Whenever you add any list view to your activity main, might be a chance it will not assign the id to your list view. So your first task will be assign the id to your list view. Whenever I am passing here id, so I will be able to access here. I just need to do what? List view dot adapter is equal to adapter. Now my data should be loaded over here. Let's just check it is displaying my data to this application or not. It will re-execute my application, and again it will asking me for the permission. Let me allow for the permission. Whenever you execute this, you can check that it is working properly or not. Let me execute this application. See, this application shows that this is the number, it was outgoing. Why? Because the code is 2. So how can I know that this is outgoing number, this is rejected number, this is miscalled, this is incoming, and this is again a outgoing? How can I know that, right? So let me show you one simple demonstration for this. You can just click on this triple dot, and then you can select the font. In this font you can pass any number. Suppose I'm here passing 028125634445 and call the device. It will call this device. See, right? Once this device, if you answer this, it means this call is incoming call, right? So this call is came to my device, so I'm just cutting this call, right? Once you cut this call, now let me try again, but I'm passing the another number. For example, 919191919191 call device. But now I'm just ending the call. It means the call is missed call, right? Now from this I want to check, I want to dial the call now, right? So I'm dialing the call to number. For example, number is 555555, and just to call this number, right? This call is for how much duration? So this call is for 2 or 3 seconds, right? Now you can come to your Android application and check the entry of this is available over here or not. See, the last call was, this call was outgoing call, right? To money it is outgoing, and it was for 3 seconds. The 3 money it is missed call, right? So obviously the duration of the missed call is not counted here. 1 money it is incoming, the call was came for the 8 second. So now how you can know that 1 for what, 2 for what, and 3 for what? So you can make the coding for this. You can just take this variable, you can just take this into your variable, and you can call the, if it is Java, then you can call the switch case, and if it is a Kotlin, then you can pass it into when close. If it is a 1, then it is incoming. If it is a 2, then it is outgoing. If it is a 3, then it is a missed call. If it is a 4, then it is a voicemail. If it is a 5, then it is a rejected call, and if it is a 6, then either it is a refused number or you can say it is a blocked number. Right, these are the 6 category for this type. This is the duration and this is the number. You can easily retrieve all these things by calling calllog.calls.api, and using calllog.calls.content URI you can retrieve all the elements that you want. Right, so this is the way you can retrieve your data. What you need to do in this application now, you just need to, instead of 231,253 all this value, instead of this you just need to display that for how much duration here, and now you need to define here what is the type. It is outgoing type, it is incoming type, it is missed call, what type it is, you just need to define over here. Right, thank you for listening me. Our task is over now. Thank you all. Thank you for listening again. Thank you.